so this is how the curriculum has changed all throughout Philippine history. Okay, so we are going to be talking about this. The first one that we have here is your Education Act of 1982. I have divided this into three parts. Elementary Act of 1982, just to show you the different goals of the different acts. Okay, so again, for Elementary Act, the goal is to teach the essential. Okay, so teach the essential to your students. The child should be aware of and be responsive to the changes in the society. The love for the nation and the people should also be developed, and the child should be oriented to the world of work. Okay, ito yung lumalabas ulit. Okay, Elementary Act of 1982, orientation to the world of work. Now, what about your Secondary Act of 1982? Of course, it should continue to promote the objectives of elementary education, and most importantly, it should develop the different aptitudes and interests of the students and should prepare them for tertiary schooling. Of course, we know that the secondary education is the intermediate. Nasa gitna siya ng elementary and of course your tertiary. Now, Tertiary Act, general education programs are provided. That's why even if you shift from one course to another, you still have your GE courses. You need to train the nation's manpower. Leadership for the nation should be promoted. And of course, advanced knowledge through research is advocated. Okay, so these are the different goals of your Tertiary Act. Again, all three are part of the Education Act of 1982. Now, your 2002 BEC, the goal for this is so that the students are going to be functionally literate. Okay, so that means they can use their literacy to function daily. Okay, so day-to-day living. And of course, very importantly, pinaka-importante dito, don't forget, 2002 BEC is the one that has given us the Makabayan, Makatao, Makakalikasan, at Maka-Diyos na motto. Okay, so that's part of your 2002 BEC. Now, for your third elementary education program or TEEP, this has been a response to the social reform agenda, part ng agenda ni Ramos, ni President Ramos. And the goal here was to improve completion rates and of course access to quality elementary education. Okay, so elementary education should be accessible to everyone and completion rates should be improved. The number of dropouts should be decreased. That's the goal of your TEEP. Now, your secondary education development and improvement program, this is SEDIP, and its purpose still is just like your education curriculum for elementary, that we had a while ago. And this is also to improve equitable access to education, especially to secondary education. So because of your SEDIP, there has been the flourishing of your barangay high schools. Okay, so barangay high school po yung naging produkto ng SEDIP. Because of secondary education development and improvement program, nagkaroon tayo ng iba't ibang barangay high school. Dati, isang bayan, isa lamang yung high school. Nasa town lamang, But now we see different high schools in the different barangays, So hindi na centralized, dinecentralized na yung secondary education management. May kanya-kanyang principals na yung kanya-kanyang schools at meron ng mga barangay high schools. Now, UBD, Understanding by Design, of course, this was by Grant Wiggins and J. McTighe. The emphasis was on backward design. And of course, the 3 stages of backward design is you'd always start with the objectives. Okay, so start with the end in mind. Identify the results, the desired objectives. Then you define the different assessments that you are going to use. This started your performance task, kahit sa backward design or sa UBD, meron na tayong performance task dati. And the last stage would be the learning plan or instruction. So baliktad siya talaga. Because you did not start with how you're going to teach, but you started with your objectives, then your assessment, then last yung learning plan. Okay, that's your UBD. K-12 or K-12 basic education curriculum. This is second to the last, I think. Republic Act 10533. This was signed May 15, 2013. This is they wanted kindergarten to be universal, so they want everyone to start with kindergarten. Before kasi pwede mag-start ka with Ma'am Crystal, pakimute po. Before kasi pwedeng mag-start ka ng grade 1. Okay? Pwedeng mag-start na diretso na ng grade 1 pag marunong magsulat, pag marunong magbasa yung bata, pwedeng dumiretso ng grade 1. Now, sabi ng K-12, hindi po pwede. Kailangan universal na yung kindergarten. Lahat dapat mag-go through sa kindergarten. Okay? And then, of course, there's 6 years of primary education, 4 years of junior high school, and 2 years of senior high school. Okay, so if there's a question in the LET about the total number of years in your K-12 basic education curriculum or enhanced education curriculum, your answer would be 13 years. Okay, so 13 years siya. Kindergarten plus 12 years, 13 years total. Okay, now the goals of K-12 here is to strengthen ECE. We've talked about that. Universal kindergarten, making the curriculum relevant to your learners. So there's context, there's enhancement, spiral progression. Okay, so spiral curriculum na tinatawag, no? Ito yung in-advocate nila. So dapat as a teacher, generalist ka. Alam mo yung kada subject sa science, for example, no, hindi po pwedeng bio lang yung alam mo, hindi po pwedeng chemistry lang yung alam mo. Building proficiency, very important, through MTB, MLE, Mother Tongue-Based Multilingual Education. And of course, you have your senior high school and you have your college and livelihood readiness, the 21st century skills. Okay, so medyo modern na nga yung K-12. They wanted the Filipino graduates to be globally competitive. Okay, so to be at par with the different graduates in other countries. Kasi dati, nung wala pa yung K-12, tingin sa atin ay kulang yung education natin kasi 10 years lang yung education. Okay, so when workers, Filipinos would come here, for example, in the US, they'd be asked to undergo more training, no, more education because there's no K-12 pa during that time. Now, this one right here is, of course, the most modern, the last type of curriculum put forth by the Department of Education, Sulong Edukalidad. This was launched on December 3rd, 2019 through their LCP or Learning Continuity Plan. And now it has KITE as its reform areas. KITE there would stand for K-12 curriculum, the improvement of the learning environment, the teachers upskilling and reskilling. Okay, so ngayon si ma'am, si sir, dapat marunong na mag-online, meron pang nasa radyo, no? Meron mga recording. Okay, so teachers upskilling and reskilling, and of course, engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration. We know this to be very true. This means si nanay, si tatay ay involved sa pagkokompleto ng modules ng anak. Okay, so engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration. We all know, as you've seen all throughout our topic today, all throughout our lecture, we all know how the society, how everything that's happening around us can shape, can change the curriculum. Okay.